So we just heard from the Chancellor in his first ever spring statement, and that's just getting used to the new system where he's going to have a single fiscal event. So we're now having the budget, as we've always understood it to be in March, that's now been moved to November. And he's doing this to give taxpayers and businesses better certainty. There's only any fundamental changes to tax once a year rather than what we have enjoyed over recent years, probably 2 major changes. But overall, really good news story from the Chancellor. Probably better than the opposition had hoped for. Some good growth forecasts. So he's saying the economy has grown now for the 5th year in succession, and in fact the OBR have updated the current year forecast to 1.5% growth from 1.3%. The other concerning issue has been around inflation, which is running at 3%. The Chancellor's made it very clear his view is that's going to be back on track within the next 12 months. I think, how does that feed through to the borrowing? He's predicting £45 billion for the current year and falling to 0.9% of GDP by 2022-23. So overall, a really good message for the economy. But what's that mean for you and for businesses out there? I mean, he talked about champion for the entrepreneur. I think one of the key things he had some fairly negative press on has been the 3 million of new apprenticeship starts that he promised by 2020. There's been a pretty slow take-up of that, and particularly for small businesses, they've struggled to see how to make that work. So he's offered some further support for small businesses to encourage that take-up. The really good news story, certainly for the West Mids, he has committed, as from today, 215,000 new house builds by 2031 in the West Midlands. Now that is a really good news story, both for the house builders out there, but also for the first-time buyers. It's actually getting new housing supply into the market. He linked that quite nicely with the stamp duty changes he announced last year, and he said that 60,000 first-time buyers have taken advantage of those stamp duty reliefs that were brought in 2016-17. So, quite a good news story on that one. He has made a few announcements. He's going to do a new VAT collection system for the online sellers. There is concern about leakage of VAT in the system as we currently know it. And he's picked up on the stuff that's been in the press in the last few weeks and months, which is around single-use plastics. I think there's some money going into on the R&D, looking at how we can replace those with more greener type things. But also the really tough issue to tackle is, he refers to the white van driver. How do we help them go green? And that's a big issue, but again, some money into the R&D over the next few years as we move towards that. But overall, I think it really was, say, a positive message. He talked about he's trying to create an economy that works for everyone. And I think the only reference to Brexit in all this, he talked about creating an outward-looking, free trading nation. And what he's saying there, whatever happens over the next 12 or 18 months, whether it's a soft or hard Brexit, UK business is very much open for business going forward. So I think hopefully that's good news. We'll see what the press have to say over the next few days. If you've got any questions coming out of this, then please pick up the phone, talk to your normal contact at PKF Parry. We'll be delighted to help.